Om Shri Sai Ram, offering my humble pranams at the lotus feet of Bhagwan Shri Sathya Sai Baba. Today we are going to see the 7th story in the series of Chinna Katha. The title of the story is The Best Gift to Ask from God. Our faith diminishes because our ambitions are limitless. There was a rich person who had a daughter with a flat nose. The father wanted to get the girl married. Every person who came and looked at the girl used to go away, although they were tempted by the wealth. In those days, persons who could perform plastic surgery were not available. In desperation, he announced that he would give plenty of money to anyone who would marry his daughter. The marriage was performed and therefore the couple developed considerable faith in God. They visited many temples, went on many pilgrimages and bathed in many sacred rivers. They met a saint who advised them that he who created the nose alone could bring it back to the normal. Although they had a lot of wealth, they were not happy at all. The girl used to feel others were looking at her and making fun. She suggested to her husband that they should both go to the lonely Himalayas and spend a month there in that manner. He agreed and they did go. The girl had a great desire to get back her nose, so she began to pray to God in great earnestness. God appeared due to her good luck and asked her what she wanted. As soon as God appeared, she asked for the grant of a good-looking big nose. God said, "So shall it be," and granted her the boon. As soon as the god disappeared, she looked at her face. She looked at the big nose and felt that she had become uglier than before. She prayed again more earnestly, and God appeared again and asked her what she wanted. She said that she did not want that big nose. God said, "So shall it be," and granted her the boon. She immediately found that her nose had completely disappeared. The moral of this story is that although God is present before you, playing with you and talking with you, you do not know what to ask. In this story, the girl did not know what to ask. In order to understand this, we have to know what is prayer. Prayer is the conversation with God. Prayer is the subtlest and most sublime thread that links the human soul with the divine spirit. It establishes a relationship between the individual and infinite supreme. It is the winged arrow of human feeling that coalesces with the divine love of God. Prayer depends upon the purity of your feeling and the intensity of your yearning. Swami says, grace of God can confer mental peace and so good sleep and rest for the mind. Swami, in one of his conversations with Dr. John Hislop, has said, whenever and wherever you put yourself in touch with God, that is the state of meditation. Swami also said the prayer must be united with practice. You should not pray for one thing and practice another. One-pointedness is important. Dr. Hislop asks, is not praying to God the same as begging? Swami says, to beg from an equal puts you down and turns the other one up. But when you ask God, you raise up to His level. You must ask God. To ask God is perfectly all right. It is not begging, but you should ask for the grace of the God. How and when to pray? Prayer is the simplest and easiest form of meditation. Meditation is the constant remembrance of God. So prayer can be talking to God as though He is in front of us. We can certainly do this, say when we are alone, when we are traveling or cooking. We can just keep talking to God as if He is in front of us. This way, Swami becomes our real friend. Prayer makes us think of God. One can always find time to talk to God. It leads to internal cleansing. The longer that we put off the prayer, the more is the dirt that accumulates within. Why not to ask specific things to Swami? Our views or exposure is very limited. It is like we see through the keyhole. We only can see the limited range. Our range of vision is limited. God knows the full picture and would give us the right things at the right moment. So we can pray to God to be with us, guide us, and give us the right things. We accumulate desires based on what we know already or what we have accumulated in the memory data bank based on our inputs from our sensory organs or by inferring and by understanding with the limited knowledge we have. Bhagwan Baba tells his students to ask for the grace of the God. Swami asks, do you know what did Prahlad pray? Lord Narsimha asked Prahlada, I am very pleased with your devotion. What do you want? He did not ask for toys or ice creams or anything worldly. Instead, he asked, if I have your grace, that is enough. If you want to bless me with a boon, give me this that I should never ask you for anything. Give me that boon. If you have God, then you have everything. If the king is yours, the whole kingdom is yours. Ask for God, you get everything. Everything would come behind. World is the shadow of God. What should we ask to God? Our prayer must express gratitude for the numerous things we have. Besides expressing gratitude, one should also pray for others. Swami likes when we pray for others. This is selflessness. Brother Prem Anush from Radio Sahi has mentioned a beautiful story about Sinclair. Once Mrs. Sinclair, on her way to see Swami, she met with an accident and she died. And Mr. Sinclair had come all the way to finish the last rites for his wife. And then he went to Puttaparthi to see Swami. Swami asked him what did he want. And Sinclair said that I want what you want for me, Swami. And Swami was telling that this is the true prayer. Brother Arvind Balasubramanya also says, when God says yes, he gives you what you want. When God says wait, he gives you something better. When God says no, he gives the best. Why should we pray every day? Some of the reasons are given below. First, prayer protects us. 2. Prayer changes the things. 3. Prayer keeps you in the will of God. 4. Prayer draws you closer to God. Prayer makes you happy. 6. Prayer gives you hope. 7. Prayer makes you less selfish. 8. Prayer heals you from all the pains. 9. Prayer makes you stronger spiritually. Prayer gives you peace of mind. Hope you all enjoyed the story today. The best gift to ask God, and we have seen its inner significance. What is prayer? How and when to pray? Why not to ask specific things to Swami? What should we ask God? Why should we pray every day? Next week, let us meet with another story from Bhagwan Sri Sathya Sai Baba's Chinna Katha and see its significance in detail. Until then, Sai Ram.